So this is just going to be a really quick video today explaining some of the research that I've been doing recently and some of the things that I've been seeing recently through my research. I mean, obviously I've been doing a lot of research for many years and I've taken a lot of breaks in between and then come back to it later. But over the last 6 months I've done nothing but research. And what I've been researching was mainly the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th centuries, you know, and before that as well sometimes, but mainly that sort of time period, you know, because this sort of time period is strange when you start reading the reports and even the news articles that were written at the time. I mean, it seems to me like the past is a very strange place, and a place where most of us have had a glance of what they've really written down, because it is kind of shown through the entertainment industry, like little glances of it, but it's considered to be so, you know, fanciful and, you know, far-fetched that 99% of people wouldn't believe it. But when you actually start looking at the actual reports from the past, you start reading accounts of witchcraft, occultism, ritualistic murders, obviously all that was going on, and, you know, thousands of people throughout Europe was sentenced to death and tortured in a lot of cases for being connected to witches and witchcraft and performing rituals that sometimes involved the murder of children, the slaughtering of children and all that sort of thing. So yeah, this was some pretty dark stuff. And obviously we're pretty much told today that it was all just paranoid, you know, religious fundamentalists taking things too far. And maybe some of it was that. But the only trouble is with that theory is that this sort of reports go on all over the world, even in non-Christian countries as well. And the creatures and the stories are always so similar that it's like, it starts to make you think, can it really be a coincidence? Or was the world a completely different place back then? And for some reason, we're not seeing what they were seeing now. Like, you know, we're not seeing now what they were seeing then. I mean, because, you know, back into the 16th, 17th centuries and before, and even beyond as well, I mean, it wasn't, people were big believers in giants. Obviously, giants were guardians. I mean, you look at the old media reports from England and the old folklore stories from England in the 15th century and the 16th century, and they talk about Magog and Gog, which was two guardian giants that looked after London. I mean, London, according to our old news reports and folklore, was literally protected by giants, by a lineage of giants. And this isn't, and it wasn't just London either, it was actually everywhere in the world. I mean, I've been reading stories of a place just, you know, a place that doesn't exist anymore, but it's within what we call modern day Indonesia. And they apparently had a prime minister in the 14th century that was the size of a mountain, that used to carve these spectacular things with his bloody fingers. I mean, the stories are absolutely bizarre, but they also seem to be presented like as an actual absolute fact. Like, there doesn't seem to be any sort of joking or any sort of satire to these stories. Like I mean, like nowadays, when historians do talk about this sort of thing, they present it as satire, and like it's all just satire, but it really wasn't when you start reading the reports, which you can do yourself. I mean, they are on the internet. You know, the internet is good for looking at things like that. I mean, like the Gargantua writings. Now, Gargantua is presented as a completely satirical character, but the earliest writings of Gargantua wasn't satirical at all. And according to the earliest writings of Gargantua, Gargantua was so big and powerful that literally just being in his presence was dangerous. I mean, he literally killed millions. In fact, the catacombs are full of people that Gargantua killed, according to the folklore of France. You know, like if you ask the people in the past how then people got into the catacombs, they're not going to say, oh well, it was moved from a grave, from graveyards, because the graveyards got full. They're going to say because Gargantua killed all these people by accident, 250,000 people in just one day. just by taking a piss on them, according to the folklore. And I know that sounds absolutely mental and, you know, to some, too bizarre to believe. And it is too bizarre to believe. But why is it too bizarre to believe? Because we haven't seen it. If we've seen it, you know, like, you'd believe it. But these people was presenting it, like I say, as an absolute fact. Obviously, yeah, the Chronicles of Gargantua, the early writings, wasn't written as a satirical series like the later stuff about him. I mean, it was literally written as an absolute fact, and people in France believed it. They believed it to be actually part of their history, like people in Britain believed that Magog and Gog was part of their history, and so on and so on. I mean, it's a pattern that goes all around the world. And then you've got the 17th centuries, like I say, where all of a sudden there's an influx of demons that seems to take over the world. I mean, before the 17th century, but about the 14th, 15th, it seems to, and then up until the 17th, 18th, it seems to go a little bit quieter. But there seems to, I mean, you got the witch trials, you got the werewolf trials. I mean, you've literally got trials in France for werewolves and shapeshifters. People were paranoid that there were shapeshifters around that had the ability to shapeshift into wolves, or, you know, all kinds of animals, whatever they really wanted to shapeshift into, that was capable of doing it. I mean, you've got people being executed for communicating with fairies and the fairy queen, and, you know, written down in our court history. I mean, it is truly bizarre, and it just makes me think, you know, what is going on? And to the people who want to say, oh, well, it's just stories, and it's just folklore, and it's just mythology, it's like, but why does it line up so well? Why does the witch trials spread all around the world at the same sort of a time? Why is the descriptions of the entities that are being invoked by the witches so similar? For example, horned, like sometimes goat-like creatures, or half animal, half human, being reported all over the world at that time as demons, or as some sort of supernatural entity that people was trying to get some sort of favour of, or something like that, some sort of protection from. I mean, history is a strange place, and most people have got no awareness of how strange it is. And I had a slight glimpse of how strange it was up until the last year, and I thought I understood just how weird everything is, you know, and in the past. But now it's not just the weirdness of it that's getting to me, it's a consistency of the weirdness to it that goes all around the world. It's like something was happening that we're not being told about, and it's like these demons seem to have gone out of sight for now, but it seems like there was something there. And if you're to believe these old reports, there were literally demonic entities capable of changing into human form, or the form of whatever they wanted, and capable of and cannibalistic sometimes, and, you know, not exactly very nice. And then you've got these dog-headed warrior characters that are spoken about throughout history as well, like Saint Christopher. According to some reports, Saint Christopher was a 23-foot dog-headed warrior who fought for the Roman Empire and said he refused to, and then he became a martyr for Christianity. I mean, you know, how bizarre is it that these stories exist, let alone that they exist in such huge numbers? I mean, a number of saints are portrayed as dog-headed warriors, or dog-headed people, or dog-headed giants. And, you know, the dog-headed people was widely reported throughout our history books as well, from Egypt, from ancient Egypt to ancient Greece, to Alexander the Great and Marco Polo. You know, they're all talking about these dog-headed creatures that existed. I mean, the Catholic Church even did a full investigation into them, and wrote a full report on why these dog-headed people were, you know, could have their souls saved by Jesus if they accepted Christ, which many of them did, including Saint Christopher. So, you know, the past is a strange place, and like I say, I don't think most people realise how strange the past is. These PDFs that I've been making I put them into PDF form, because realistically you couldn't fit it all into a video. I mean, it would just go on and on and on, and you'd have to continue it, just constantly adding to it, you know, because there's just so much there, and it's the quantity of the information that starts making things look really weird. Because you could say, like, if there was a few little minor reports of strange incidences scattered across our history books, you could kind of dismiss them as, you know, folklore, or as, you know, just ancient beliefs and stuff like that, localised ancient beliefs. But the fact that it's not localised, the fact that it doesn't seem to matter where you go, you get this belief in demons and witches and giants and fairies and goblins and ghouls and the jinn and all these sort of things, all these sort of creatures that are widely reported throughout our history, that most people don't even realise are widely reported throughout our history. And to be honest, I didn't. I knew that there was writings about strange creatures like this in our history, but I didn't realise that it was a worldwide thing and that it was so consistent everywhere. I think that you'd be hard pressed to find anywhere in the world that was writing or doing any sort of record keeping at the time period that didn't believe in similar folklore and similar stories to this. And like I say, it's written down as such matter-of-factly, like it's kind of bizarre. It's just really bizarre, and it just makes you think, these people, or were these people actually seeing something that we cannot explain today back then? And it seems to me like, yeah, they probably were.